Michael Coote of the Forest and Bird Motomanawa Restoration Group, and I'm one of the people who takes an interest in the shorebirds that roost and feed here at the Te Atatu Pony Club. We find we have many species coming here to roost and feed at high tide, hundreds of birds, sometimes thousands of birds, some of them quite rare and endangered like the wrybills and the New Zealand dotterels. One of our concerns has been that when a work depot is built here by NZTA and its consortium partners for rebuilding the State Highway 16 motorway causeway and also the Te Atatu interchange, that there could be some significant disturbance to the shorebirds that are used to using this place for refuge and feeding. So as a consequence, we're taking a keen interest in what's proceeding here, and we have some concerns that possibly the birds might be adversely affected. Every year the Ornithological Society of New Zealand does a shorebird count around the Auckland region, and here at the Pony Club is one of the sites where the birds are counted. So this is an important place to monitor the bird population, and also this will be a means of determining whether the existence of the working depot for the motorway works is having a negative impact on the bird population that's normally roosting here, whether in terms of their numbers or their behaviour patterns, whether perhaps they show signs of stress or disturbance. So this is something that can be monitored, and certainly year by year the bird counts will give some idea as to whether there is some impact following from changing the environment in such a drastic way, at least for the span of a few years. Yes, this is very important here. You've got the vast upper Waitemata Harbour feeding grounds here, very shallow waters with sand flats and mud flats. You've got the Motomanawa Pollen Marine Reserve where people are not allowed to disturb the marine organisms, so it's a very rich feeding ground for shorebirds and wading birds. Also, they don't have to travel very far to get across the Manukau Harbour, which has a different set of tides, so they can swap between and feed. As for the Pony Club here, it is itself a place that they can feed also when the tide is in and they need to move on to land and wait for the tide to recede again. So this area is very important for those birds. It's very rich in all kinds of marine life, mud snails, mud crabs, bivalves and so on that they feed on. So they can rely upon this as an important place to migrate to from other parts of the country or other countries of the world. So this is one of the areas we're very interested in and very concerned to see is not adversely affected by any building activities. Yes, by our observation the birds sit inside the fence lines where there aren't horses in the paddock, so they go around moving from patch to patch. We notice that they don't go outside the fence lines into the public reserve. We think that's because of dogs, that they are frightened of dogs. But generally speaking, they seem to feel quite protected behind fence lines. This is why the Pony Club is very important for them as an environment that they can be safe in and feed in. We think also probably the horses, they manure the ground and it makes it very rich in terms of worms and insects, because you can observe the shorebirds are up here actively feeding, not just passively roosting.